What's up, guys? Corey Cedrel here today with Titan Lawn and Landscape here in Iowa. I want to talk to you today about scaling your business and simplifying your processes to get there. So the number one thing in your business that's going to help you scale your business and step from owner-operator into having employees and managing multiple crews is one, the strength of your processes, and two, knowing your profits in each one of your services so you know what type of work you can take on, how much you can pay your employees, and so forth. So let's first touch base on processes. So you've got to have processes in place, simple processes that you can put in place every single day, basically rinse and repeat, do over and over and over every day, that runs the business and runs the function so stuff doesn't fall through the cracks. The first person that's gonna really increase your ability to scale yourself as a business owner is an office manager, and that office manager is going to help with invoicing, accounts payable, talking to customers, getting appointments set up. If you get a good office manager, I have an amazing office manager right now. Her name's Kelsey. She's fantastic, and she does an amazing job of basically doing 90% of the administrative tasks of the business that have to get done during the day, every day, right? So crews have to be tracked, profits have to be tracked, customers have to be tracked, meetings have to be put on the calendar, so forth. So she does an amazing job of that, and we have processes down where basically she sets all my calendar appointments, she contacts the customers, she handles all the invoicing, she has specific tasks that she does. I have specific tasks that I do. So if we didn't have delineation and I was invoicing part of the time and talking to customers part of the time, she was setting up the calendar part of the time, it'd be a mess. So we have set processes in place that work great for us. Now, the other thing, and this is more what I'm talking about and geared towards, is simplifying the services that you offer so you can scale your business. When you first start your business, you're going to have to scrap and do a bunch of different things, right? So one day you might be trimming bushes, the next day you might be mowing, the next day you might be mulching, the next day you might be cutting down a tree. Now, as the owner of the business, you're going to be able to do that stuff because you're going to be the point of contact. You're going to know what the customer wants. You're going to know how to run all the equipment. But when you start to get employees, you are not going to be able to jerk your employees around on a day-to-day basis. One day they're going to cut down a tree. The next day they're going to mulch. The next day they're going to mow. The next day they're going to treat lawns. They can't handle it. They just can't do it. Your employees are not going to think like you. They're going to want to have a set schedule. That's why I highly recommend your mowing guys mow, your landscaping guys landscape, your treatment guys treat. Now, that's in the perfect world, but we know we don't live in the perfect world. So there is going to be times where your crew is going to have to overlap. But simplifying those services, instead of thinking, oh, I can cut down that tree, think about it. Are my crews able to cut down that tree? Are my crews able to install this landscaping? If you take on jobs that you have to be on to babysit your crews, you're never going to be able to scale up. You're not going to be able to scale up because you're always going to be stuck on the job, in the labor role, working the labor. So simplifying, what does that mean? Simplify your mowing. Take on, say, these are the properties that fit in my box. Now, when I talk about profit, I'm huge on numbers. If you track your profit on your services, what is your landscaping gross profit? What is your mowing gross profit? Once you know your average and what you're trying to hit, you are much able to scale that business and scale that side because you know exactly where your price needs to be to make money on those services. If you aren't tracking profit and you're just saying, all right, $50 to mow this lawn, $200 to mow that, $150 to mow that or mulch that landscape bed, and you're throwing numbers out there and you start throwing crews out there, if you don't know the profit on it and you're not tracking the profit, you don't know if you're making money or not. And then it's going to get really convoluted when you add crews to the mix. So simplifying the tasks that your crews can do. Bed maintenance is very simple. Mulching, trimming, low-level tree trimming, stuff like that. rinse and repeat. Get your processes down to how McDonald's does their work. McDonald's became highly successful because of their processes. Do they sell the best burgers in the country? Absolutely not. Do they have the best oiled, ran franchise in the world? Absolutely. They have taken the guessing work out of the day-to-day operations of the business. They are basically just a manufacturing plant that is pumping out burgers like crazy. All across the country, burgers always taste the same. So if you can take a play from McDonald's and how they have scaled their business, that is how you must do it. You must focus, know your profit on each one of your services, track your profit, and then rinse and repeat. And once you find a niche, maybe your niche is landscape maintenance. So landscape maintenance, weeding, mulch, planting, maintenance. Once it's installed, you maintain it. You could very easily have a crew just maintain landscaping. I have weekly bed maintenance contracts that 1 to 2 people can go out all week long, and all they do is maintain landscaping beds. It's highly profitable for us. Very high margin. We can get 65, 70% on our weeding and go out and do it day in, day out, week in, week out. So the thing about the process is too, for you as the owner of the business, if you're ever going to get any sort of freedom from your business, right? So I'm saying you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to manage your business, but you're also going to want to take a day to go do something else. Maybe it's go look at another business. Maybe it's go work on your business, not in your business. You're going to have to put those processes in place to simplify everything. You've got to make it simple for your office manager, simple for your mowing crews, your landscaping. Rinse and repeat. I cannot say that enough. So when we're talking about this, is just make it as simple as possible, because there's going to come a day and time where you are going to want that freedom. If you're on a mower, I just saw this the other day, Lawn Care Mafia. Somebody said, well, how much can a 1 or 2 man crew, can they do $100,000? Bunch of guys are like, oh yeah, we can do $100,000. There's nothing wrong with doing $100,000 with a 2 man crew, but think about it, guys. If you were stuck at $100,000 with a 1 or 2 man crew, you're never going to progress out of that. You're never going to build the business. You basically own your own job, right? And if you're fine with that lifestyle and you're fine with that job, there's nothing wrong with solo operators. I understand most guys, the reason they're solo operators is because they don't want to deal with employees. They either don't want to deal with employees or they cannot manage employees. Managing employees is very difficult, and that's why I'm talking about this, about going into your business and simplifying everything. Taking, just dumbing it down to the simplest of simplest and just rinse and repeat. But the thing is about being a solo operator is it's amazing. In their first couple of years, you're going to have to do everything you can to make money. You're going to have equipment to pay off. You're going to have, you're not going to know exactly what you're going to be flying by the seat of your pants. First 2 or 3 years, that's fine. But you've got to realize that at some point, and I talked about this in a previous video, what works now is not going to work in the future for you. Run around like a chicken with your head cut off is not going to work down the road. It's just not going to work. Or it's going to work. It's still going to just be very dysfunctional. So if you want to step out of the owner-operator role and you want to step into having multiple crews operating and you get out of the labor role so you can manage, you can sell, you can run the business, you're going to have to simplify your processes. You're going to have to simplify every part of your business and take out as much guessing work as possible. Simplify your trucks, fleet of trucks, all the same trucks. I'm switching all over to Chevy 6.0 gassers. Same trucks, same engine. Something breaks, we fix it. Breaks on the next one, we fix it. We're not chasing Dodge, Ford, Chevy trucks anymore. I still have a couple. Fords and Dodges, whatever. But I am getting rid of those. As I get rid of them, I'm replacing them, putting into the same exact truck and motor, so we know them. The process is like we use Google Docs. Google Docs is basically an online cloud Excel spreadsheet program. It's free. Anybody with a Gmail account can use it. And we use Google Docs to do our routing. My office manager's not in the office. She stays at home. So she has access to it. I have access to it. My guys have access to it. So the minute on our route something happens, they put a note in it. Skip, they've got their mowing route. Skip mowing today, gate was locked. I know it. My office manager knows it. It's just that much easier. So guys, when you're starting your business, you're going to be all over the place. You're going to be drugging 300 different directions a day. I'm drugging 300 different directions a day. It's just different directions than what it was when I started the business by myself. So simplify, focus, rinse, repeat, track your profit to make sure you're profitable, and then literally every day, rinse and repeat. If you guys got any questions, comments, leave them below. Appreciate you guys checking out my channel. Thanks.